Hi guys, my name is Melanie Abro, and for my current event, I decided to research more on the California wildfires that just occurred. The reason for me picking this topic was because most people don't realize that two fires actually happened during the same time. The two fires that did occur were the Woolsey fire and the Camp Fire. Therefore, I decided to cover both of the fires, and I kind of wanted to do more research on why the fires occurred, what happened during the fires, and also some conspiracy theories that were brought up during the fires. To start off, I want to break down both fires, where they took place, how long they took place for, and so on. So, the Woolsey fire began on November 8th, 2018 and did not end until January 8th, 2019. The fire is said to have started because of a circuit relaying out. It took place through Los Angeles County and Ventura County and was considered the worst during the first 13 days. It is responsible for burning over 96,949 acres of land and destroying over 1,500 structures, and is also responsible for killing 3 people. This right here is a map of the Woolsey fire, and you can see how far the fire actually spread out through Southern California, as well as seeing what parts were burning more than others. The other fire that was taking place at the same time as the Woolsey fire was the Camp Fire, and the Camp Fire began on the same date, November 8th, 2018, and did not end until January 4th, 2019. It took place through Polga Road at Camp Creek Road near Jarbo Gap, and this fire is said to have started by PG&E's that was experiencing a transmission line outage about 1 mile northeast of the town. It is responsible for burning over 153,336 acres and destroying over 13,972 residences, 528 commercial buildings, and 4,293 other buildings. Sadly, over 89 people had died during this fire, and 699 people had went missing. From this map itself, you can see how large of a scale the fire had spread. And then this map right here can give you an example of how far the fires were actually from each other. So Camp Fire itself was more towards San Francisco and Northern California, while the Woolsey fire was more towards Los Angeles and Malibu. So this is when the conspiracy theories are brought up because, as you can see, both the fires were started on the same day, yet both the fires are so far from each other. So one of the biggest conspiracy theories with this all is direct energy weapons. So a lot of people believe the government were trying to hide something at the time, or this could have been a terrorist attack, but mostly a lot of people believe the government was trying to start this in order to cover for something else. So with that being said, people were finding burn patterns that could be seen through photos, especially in neighborhoods that were burnt down. For example, in some neighborhoods, some houses were burnt down, but then the house like right next door would not be burnt down. So that goes to show how a lot of the property lines were perfectly fine compared to others. So basically, these were targeted lasers that were shot out from planes or drones to start these fires. Not only that, but it is said that some people may have burned their houses down in order to file an insurance claim, and this theory comes about because a lot of the fires were started within the houses themselves than from outside. Both the Woolsey fire and Camp Fire caused over $9 billion in direct incurred losses. Okay, and the last two theories that I found interesting were people believe that the fires were started by the Illuminati, which I highly doubt. And then it could have been caused by drug cartels. And the reasoning behind this was because in 2017, drug cartels were the main reason for another huge fire in California. So the main reason why I kind of wanted to do this current event on the California fires was because of the news coverage on both the fires. So, as we all know, the Woolsey fire got so much more coverage than the actual Camp Fire did itself. And this is crazy to me because the Woolsey fire was damaging, but it was not as damaging as the Camp Fire was. Camp Fire had killed over 89 people. And the reason why the Woolsey fire was getting more coverage was because it was taking place where most of our favorite celebrities live. Therefore, I began doing a lot more research on what news outlets did report on the wildfires, and I found this cool graph that actually demonstrates how many times CNN talked about hurricanes compared to how many times they would have talked about the wildfires themselves. The fires definitely deserved more coverage, especially Camp Fire. I found a tweet from Dan Rather, who is a famous American journalist, and he said, "Please, America, take notice of California wildfires. Dozens confirmed dead, hundreds missing, thousands homeless, millions choking on toxic air, closed schools, people wearing masks, no immediate end in sight. Oh, and please do not neglect climate change in your coverage." With that being said, the air quality became a huge issue in California because of all the fires and the smoke. Air pollution like that is full of tiny particles that can cause health problems ranging from temporary discomfort to long-term heart and lung diseases. Many people began experiencing symptoms such as burning of the throat, burning of the eyes, nasal congestion, and irritation, which could sadly also lead to heart attacks and future death. Because of how destructive the fires were, thousands were left homeless. Therefore, President Trump approved a request for a major disaster declaration that would provide the state with the federal resources it needed. With this all in mind, I wanted to ask the class, how much media coverage did you hear about the California wildfires, and was it more focused on the Woolsey or the Camp Fire?